November 14, 2024. Montana Wilderness. 10 degrees below zero. 47 minutes to hypothermia. An 18-year-old girl. No coat, no wolf, no chance. Alpha King, Declan Thorne, doesn't do mercy killings. He's ruled the Northern Coalition for a decade with iron fist and reputation for crushing weakness. His territory spans 40 packs from Canadian border to Wyoming. When rogues cross his land, they don't leave alive. But when he found her freezing in his territory that November night, everything changed. Because the girl they left to die wasn't just anyone. She was his fated mate, and she was carrying the bloodline they tried to erase. This is how Isla Crane went from frozen outcast to the most powerful Luna in the north. How the girl they threw away became the woman who brought an entire pack to its knees. But first she had to die. The failed presentation. The Silver Creek pack house barn smelled like wet hay and livestock. Isla had spent 10 years sleeping here in converted servant quarters, while the pack slept in warm beds 100 feet away. November 14th, 7 p.m., her 18th birthday. The night every werewolf waited for. The night your wolf wakes up. The night you shift for the first time. 73 pack members stood in a circle around the dirt floor. Lanterns hung from rafters, casting dancing shadows. Wind howled through wall cracks, sounding like a funeral dirge. Alpha Corbin Hale sat on a velvet-lined chair, 28 years old, handsome in that sharp, cruel way. Jawline like cut glass, eyes cold as flint, expensive black suit. He had been alpha for 10 years, since his father choked at a pack dinner. There were whispers about that night, but in Silver Creek, you learned not to ask questions. Beside him sat Luna Seraphine. Everything Isla wasn't. Tall, curved, honey blonde hair in perfect waves. She'd shifted at 16, been Corbin's favorite since. Now he's Luna, wearing diamonds and designer dresses while others scraped by. Isla stood center circle, shivering. Not from cold, from fear. She wore oversized grey hoodie, hand-me-down jeans with holes sneakers held together with duct tape. Her dark hair hung limp and dull. No hot water for servants until after midnight. The full moon hung high. Temperature already below freezing. Midnight had passed 5 minutes ago. Nothing happened. No fur. No cracking bones. No wolf. Just a small trembling girl on frozen dirt surrounded by muttering pack members. Well, Corbin's voice boomed. We're waiting, Isla. Where is the beast? I don't know, Alpha. Her voice barely a whisper. Please, give me more time. Sometimes late bloomers. Late bloomers. Seraphine stood, heels clicking like gunshots. She circled Isla like a shark running one manicured nail down her cheek, drawing blood. You aren't a late bloomer, sweetie. You're a defect, a genetic dead end. Pack member murmured agreement. In Silver Creek, strength was the only currency. If you couldn't shift, you weren't really a wolf. My father, Isla pleaded. He was beta for 30 years. He served this pack out of respect. Your father is dead, Corbin interrupted coldly, and he died of weakness just like you. Arrow through the heart on routine patrol, couldn't even sense the threat. The words hit harder than physical blows. Thomas Crane had died 10 years ago. Hunting accident, they'd called it. Investigation lasted 1 day. After his death, 8-year-old Isla became ward of the pack. Pretty word for servant. For property. 10 years of cleaning, cooking, scrubbing, sleeping with livestock, eating scraps, wearing the collar. She touched her neck unconsciously. The leather collar was gone tonight, but chafe marks remained, red and raw, a ring advertising what she'd been. Corbin walked toward her. Crowd parted automatically. He stopped 3 feet away. She smelled whiskey on his breath. I, Alpha Corbin Hale of Silver Creek, reject you from this pack. His voice carried alpha command. You are rogue. You are nothing. You have no place here. The word rogue sucked air from Isla's lungs. To be rogue was death sentence. No pack protection, no territory, no rights. Hunted on sight. Take her to the border, Corbin commanded, pouring another whiskey. Actually take her to North Pass, Dead Man's Gulch. We don't want her embarrassing this pack. Shock rippled through the room. Dead Man's Gulch bordered Blackwood Dominion, territory of AlphaKing Declan Thorne. And Declan Thorne was rumored to be a monster who slaughtered rogues on sight. 6'5" of muscle and rage, eyes that glowed gold. They said he'd killed his first rogue at 14, that he'd crushed the rebellion by tearing out the leader's throat, that his wolf titan could take down a grizzly. Sending someone to Dead Man's Gulch wasn't exile. It was execution. Corbin, please. Isla dropped to her knees. It's a blizzard, -10 degrees. I won't survive. Please just let me go to a human town. That's the point, Seraphine whispered, leaning close. Do us a favor and die quickly, rat. I want your bonk for my shoe collection. Two enforcers grabbed Isla's arms. Jax Reeves and Colt Barrow, brutish men who'd enforced Corbin's rules for years. Jax had given her those cigarette burns. Colt had put the collar on her at 8. They dragged her to a rusting Ford F-150. Other pack members watched in silence, some uncomfortable, most relieved. Through the rear window, Isla saw Corbin and Seraphine in the doorway. Seraphine laughing, Corbin raising his glass in mock toast. The tailgate slammed. The truck lurched forward. The death ride. The drive was silent, except for wind and engines struggling against cold. Isla lay in the truck bed, curling into smallest ball possible. Temperature dropping fast, -5 and falling. Snow fell hard now. Heavy wet flakes are driven sideways by 40-mile-per-hour winds. Montana winter snow, the kind that buried cattle, the kind that killed. Isla's watch read 11:03 p.m. when they left. They drove 47 minutes through winding forest roads, climbing higher into mountains. At 11:50 p.m. the truck stopped. Doors opened, boots on gravel. The tailgate dropped. Out, Jax ordered. Isla's limbs were stiff, hypothermia setting in. Colt grabbed her ankle, dragged her out. She hit ground, hard knees cracking on frozen earth. Middle of nowhere, forest all sides. No lights except truck headlights. No signs, no buildings, nothing but wilderness and wind. Please, Isla begged, teeth chattering. Just let me go near a town, anywhere with people. I'll disappear. Orders are orders, Jax grunted. Then Colt laughed. Cold, cruel sound. Almost forgot, he said, reaching for her. He ripped the heavy winter coat off her shoulders. The coat she'd found in a donation bin. Her only protection against hypothermia. Her only chance to survive. No. Ela lunged for it. Jax caught her arm, twisted it behind her back. Something popped. She cried out. He shoved her into snow. Alpha said you leave with nothing. Colt sneered, holding up the coat. Nothing but clothes on your back. This is pack property. Consider it payment for gas. He tossed the coat in the truck cab, then grabbed the sapphire necklace from her throat. Her mother's necklace, the only thing she had left. He yanked hard. Chain broke. Beads scattered into snow and darkness. That's not yours, Isla screamed, trying to find the beads. Jax threw her backward. She hit ground hard enough to see stars. It is now, Colt said, pocketing the pendant. Seraphine's been eyeing this for years. Early Christmas present. They climbed in the truck. Engine roared. Isla ran after taillights, screaming until her voice gave out. Ran until legs gave out. Until red glow disappeared around a bend. Then she was alone. Silence absolute. No engine. No voices. Just wind through pines and soft whisper of falling snow. Forest Service Road 340. She knew it from supply trucks. 30 miles to nearest town. In sneakers and thin hoodie. In -10 degrees. She remembered Dr. Frost's lesson. Core body temperature drops 2 degrees every 10 minutes in these conditions. Below 90 degrees, organs shut down. Below 88, heart stops. Her watch read 11:56 p.m. At 98.6 normal, losing 2 degrees every 10 minutes. 30 minutes before core temp dropped below 90. 20 more before organ failure. 50 minutes to leave. She couldn't make 30 miles, maybe not even one. She walked into forest looking for shelter. Fallen log, rock overhang, dense thicket, anything to block wind. Her body shutting down. Fingers and toes numb first, then ears, nose, cold moving inward. This is it, she thought. This is how it ends. She'd expected overwork or malnutrition to kill her, not freezing alone on her 18th birthday. Snow fell harder. She stumbled over hidden route, fell, got up, fell again. Getting up harder now, she found a massive pine tree, lower branches forming natural shelter. Less snow here, almost dry. Isla crawled underneath, curling tight, preserving core heat, teeth chattering so hard she thought they'd crack. Then they stopped. Worse, body had given up warming itself, world blurred at edges, thoughts slow and syrupy. She stopped shivering. Final stage, when you stop shivering minutes from death. Isla closed her eyes, just to rest. Cold didn't feel bad anymore. Felt almost warm, like sinking into hot bath, like mother's arms, like safety, like peace. Sleep. Just needed to sleep. In the distance, she heard something. A low mechanical rumble, deep and powerful. And beneath it a heartbeat, strong, steady, calling to something in her chest. But that was impossible. She was alone. No one was coming. Darkness rose like a tide, cold, final, absolute. Isla Crane stopped breathing at 12:21 a.m. on November 15th, 2024, Declan's arrival. Declan Thorne hated diplomatic inspections. He was AlphaKing, ruler of Northern Coalition, commanding 40 packs. 200,000 wolves answered to him. He should be in his Seattle office, handling logistics, not driving through blizzard to deal with Silver Creek's Alpha, who was probably embezzling. Sir, sensors picking up heavy drift. Beta Broderick Walsh said from driver's seat. Should slow down. Broderick Brick to everyone was 35. 6'2", 230 of muscle. Declan's beta for 8 years since the rebellion. Loyal, smart, strong. Declan sat in back, looking at white void beyond bulletproof windows. 6'5", 240 of muscle, hair black military short, eyes shifting brown to gold, 30 years old, unmarried, unmated, bored with existence. He'd been waiting 30 years for the mate bond, starting to wonder if fate forgot him. Keep pace, Brick, Declan said, Scottish accent slight. Want to be back at lodge before 1 a.m. Meeting can wait till morning. 3-vehicle convoy. Standard protocol. AlphaKing had enemies. They were 21 minutes from Dead Man's Gulch when Declan's head snapped up, body rigid, ascent, faint, buried under pine and ice, but hit him like sledgehammer, vanilla and ozone, like air before lightning, sweet, electric, intoxicating. Stop the car. Not a shout. A growl that vibrated bulletproof glass. Sir, we're in middle of gulch. Nothing here but, I said stop. Command tone. Alpha voice forcing obedience. Brick's hands slammed brakes. Convoy skidded to halt. Declan had door opened before car fully stopped. Blizzard assaulted him. Wind whipping his suit. Snow stinging face. He didn't feel cold. Werewolves ran hot, 108 degrees. His wolf titan was clawing at his mind, screaming mate, mate, dying. Go now! Declan vaulted over guardrail, plunged into deep snow. He moved with predatory grace, 40 miles per hour, 50, trees blurred. Alpha wait, Brick's voice distant. The scent was fading, going sour, scent of dying. No. No, no, no. Declan tore through frozen brambles, then froze. There, curled at base of massive pine, was lump of snow. He saw denim, a pale hand, blue-fingered and still. Declan fell to knees, frantically brushed snow away. The girl was tiny, maybe 90 pounds, lips blue, skin waxy translucent, ice crystals on lashes. She wore thin hoodie jeans, sneakers with duct tape, no coat, in minus 12 degrees. She wasn't breathing. Brick! Declan's roar shook trees. Get medic now! He ripped off his trench coat, wrapped it around her, pulled her stiff body against his chest. She felt like corpse, lifeless, cold. He ripped open his shirt, pressed her against the bare skin. Werewolf heat, 108 degrees, be her furnace. Breathe, he commanded, voice breaking. Come on, breathe. Placed hand over her heart, felt nothing. No beat, just silence. Titan whimpered. Mate is gone. We failed. Too late. No, Declan snarled. She's not gone. He placed mouth over hers, pushed air into her lungs. Once, twice, 3 times. Pumped her chest, hard enough to crack ribs. She could heal from broken bones, not from death. Come back. Just found you. Don't leave. He felt something. Barest flutter. A heartbeat. Weak. Skipping beats. But there. Sir. Brick appeared, breathless trauma kit in hand, eyes wide. Is she alive? Declan growled, voice barely human. Barely. Body temp in the 80s. Out here 30 minutes at least. He lifted the Isla effortlessly. She weighed nothing. Felt every rib through hoodie. Malnutrition. Severe long term. Looked at her face. Beautiful even battered by cold. Delicate features. Dark lashes on pale skin. Then saw the bruise on her cheek. Purple black. Fresh. Scratch marks across throat. 4 parallel lines. Deliberate. Her neck showed chafe marks, like she'd worn collar for years. No coat. In minus 12 degrees. Thin hoodie. Sneakers with tape. Someone had put her here. Someone stripped her and left his mate to die. Rage erupted. Eyes bled brown to pitch black. Temperature spiked. Snow melted in 3-foot radius. Contact lodge, Declan said, voice terrifyingly calm. Prep medical wing. Get Dr. Frost. Don't care if you drag him from bed. Yes, Alpha, Brick whispered, terrified of the aura radiating off his king. And Brick, sir, Declan looked at footprints in snow, at tire tracks heading south towards Silver Creek. If she dies, Declan said softly, I burn this entire forest to ground. Every tree, every structure, everyone in them. He carried Isla to road, cradled against chest, shielding her face from wind, whispering though she couldn't hear. Stay with me. You're safe now. No one will hurt you again. Convoy turned around, raced toward Obsidian Lodge at 80 miles per hour on ice. In backseat, Declan held his mate, felt weak heartbeat, willed heat into her body. Don't take her. Not when I just found her. Please. Universe didn't answer, but Isla's heart kept beating. It would have to be enough. Obsidian Lodge crisis. Medical wing of Obsidian Lodge transformed into war zone. Core temperature still too low. Dr. Magnus Frost shouted, Get heated saline now. Dr. Frost was 50. Iron grey hair, sharp blue eyes. Coalition's head physician, 20 years. He'd saved hundreds of lives. Wasn't sure he could save this one. Girl on table looked dead. Skin translucent, lips blue, body temperature 88.3 when they arrived. Fatal zone below 90. Another 5 minutes and heart would have stopped. They'd cut away frozen clothes. Now covered in heated blankets, warming lamps, heated IV. Monitors beeped erratically. Heart rate 70 when should be 90. Blood pressure low. Oxygen saturation low 80s. She's in cardiac distress, Frost muttered. Heart working too hard to pump cold blood. Need to induce coma to manage rewarming or shock will kill her. Do whatever it takes. Voice growled from corner. Declan stood against wall. Soaked. $4,000 suit ruined. Shirt torn. Looked like he'd been through war. Hadn't moved in 40 minutes. Just watched. If she dies, Frost, Declan said quietly, none of you leave this room. Irrational threat born of fear. But Frost nodded. This wasn't just any patient. This was King's mate. Most sacred bond. For 6 hours, medical team fought. Warmed Isla degree by careful degree. Too fast caused reperfusion injury. Too slow and they'd lose her. 90 degrees by 3 a.m. 92 by 4. 94 by 5. 96 by 6. Declan never moved. Brick brought clothes. Declan ignored them. Coffee. Went cold. Reports waved away. At 6:30 a.m. crisis passed. Isla's core temp hit 96.4. Normal range. Heart rate stabilized 85. Breathing evened. Monitors stopped screaming. Stable. Not safe yet, but stable. Frost approached slowly. She's stable, Alpha. Core temp normal. Repaired tissue damage to fingers and toes. Werewolf healing miraculous. Won't lose limbs. Declan breathed for first time in hours. Good. But Alpha, Frost hesitated holding tablet. We found other things. What things? Frost walked to bed, pulled blanket down to reveal Isla's shoulder and arm. Declan stepped closer. Stopped. Hands clenched into fists. Scars. Dozens. Old ones. Cigarette burns, 37 circles. Whip marks crisscrossing. Bruises in various stages. Yellow. Purple. Black. Fresh overrolled in endless cycle. Around neck chafing. Red raw permanent. Mark of wearing something tight for years. This isn't from cold, Frost said quietly, showing scans. These injuries systematic, long-term, some 8 to 10 years old. Pulled up blood work, chronic malnutrition, severe protein deficiency, vitamin D nearly undetectable, bone density 30% low. She's 18 but skeletal structure like malnourished 14-year-old. Weight 96 pounds, should be 125. Looked at Declan. AlphaKing's face expressionless, but eyes told story. Pure rage barely contained. Someone's been starving and beating her for years. This girl's been tortured. Declan reached out, traced air above scar on collarbone without touching, hands shaking. She was rejected, Declan whispered. They threw her out. Brick entered holding tablet. Alpha ran plates on tire tracks, cross-referenced with Silver Creek registry. Tell me. Her name's Isla Crane, 18 and as of yesterday. Daughter of late Beta Thomas Crane. Father died 10 years ago, arrow through heart. Hunting accident. Investigation closed after 1 day. Mother Sarah died in childbirth. Isla's been ward of current Alpha since father's death. Current Alpha, Declan repeated. Corbin Hale. Yes, sir. 28. Inherited when Father Marcus choked at packed dinner 10 years ago. Also ruled accidental. Declan's smile had no warmth. Corbin Hale, the one requesting trade agreements, wanting coalition protection, angling for council seat. Same. According to registry, Isla classified Omega status, non-shifting. Yesterday was her 18th birthday. And instead of birthday, Declan said softly, they gave her death sentence, stripped her, drove her into wilderness, left her to freeze, turned to brick with eyes gone completely black. Prepare guest suite, east wing, one with fireplace and view. Move her there when frost clears her. Don't want her waking in hospital. She's had enough cold, sterile places. And Silver Creek. Silence. Total radio silence. Proceed with meeting as planned. Let Corbin think I know nothing. Let him think Snow buried his crime. Think she's dead and forgotten. Want him comfortable. Arrogant. Want him to believe he got away with it. Look back at Isla, tiny broken girl who was somehow his mate, his queen. Because when he finds out she's alive, Declan promised, voice dropping, to whisper that made every wolf step back. When he discovers she's bonded to Alpha King, when he realizes she's about to become Queen of the North, I want his terror absolute. Want him to understand exactly what mistake he made. Then I want him to face justice for every scar on her body. 3 days passed. Isla floated in medically induced coma while body healed. Sometimes felt warmth. Sometimes heard deep voice reading. Scottish accented voice that felt like safety. She dreamt. Bad dreams. Corbin's eyes. Seraphine's laugh. The cellar. The collar. The burns. The cold. But sometimes giant black wolf appeared. Massive. Powerful. Standing between her and nightmares. Snapping jaws at shadows. Keeping her safe. November 18th, day 4. Frost reduced sedation. Bringing Isla back to consciousness. 9:47 a.m. her eyes opened. Awakening. Isla woke to crackling fire. Real fire. Strong. Warm. Seasoned hardwood. Eyes fluttered open. World focused gradually. This wasn't barn. Wasn't anywhere she recognized. Softest bed she'd ever felt. Silk sheets. Smelled like lavender and something wild. Room enormous. Vaulted ceilings. Stone fireplace. Floor-to-ceiling windows showing snow-covered forest. Persian rugs. Leather furniture. Bookshelves. Master suite. Alpha's room. She tried to sit. Body heavy, uncoordinated. How long asleep? His own voice said from shadows. Don't try to move. You've been unconscious 4 days. Body needs time. Isla gasped, scrambled backward, pulling duvet to chin. Heart hammering. Fight or flight after 10 years conditioning. Please, she rasped, throat dry. Didn't mean to trespass. Don't know where I am. I'll leave. Please don't hurt me. Figure stepped into firelight. Isla stopped breathing. Most beautiful and terrifying man she'd ever seen. 6'5". Broad shoulders, straining black t-shirt, muscular arms, dark hair military short, sharp features, eyes shifting brown to gold. Him, from her memories, who'd held her in snow, whose voice kept nightmares away. I'm not going to hurt you, Isla, he said softly. Scottish bird turning her name musical. You're safe here. I promise. You know my name. I know many things. Pulled chair closer, sat keeping distance. My name's Declan Thorne. You're in Obsidian Lodge, my territory. Blood drained from Isla's face. Alpha King's territory. Oh God, started hyperventilating. You're going to kill me. Corbin said King kills rogues on sight. I'm rogue, no pack. Please didn't choose this. Isla. Voice cut through panic. Firm but not harsh. Stop. Breathe. Look at me. She did. Met gold brown eyes. Saw no cruelty, just concern and something else. Corbin Hale's a liar, Declan said steadily. I don't kill innocent rogues. Don't punish people for circumstances beyond control. And you're not rogue. Not here. Not ever. But I have nothing, Isla said, voice cracking, tears spilling. Can't shift. I'm useless. A defect. Everyone says so. I'm worthless. Don't even know why you saved me. Declan moved, faster than her eyes tracked, sitting on bed edge, close but not touching. May I? Held out hand palm up, offering, not demanding. Something in her said this man wouldn't hurt her. Said trust him. She placed small scarred hand in his. Effect immediate. Electric sparks shot up her arm. Not painful, beautiful, like touching live wire of starlight. Sensation spread through body-warming places, cold for years. She gasped, staring where hands joined. Feel that? Declan asked, voice rough with emotion. What is that? It's the mate bond, Isla. Said words carefully, letting her process. Connection between souls, moon goddess creates. You aren't a defect. aren't worthless. You're my mate, my fated mate. Other half of my soul I've waited 30 years to find. Isla stared. AlphaKing, her mate. Impossible. But I don't have wolf, she said. How can I be mate if I'm human? Knock at door. Dr. Frost entered, holding file folder. That brings us to second matter, Miss Crane, Frost said. Walked to bed, foot adjusted glasses. While treating hypothermia, we ran comprehensive blood work. Found extremely high concentrations of Aconitum napellus, 450 milligrams per deciliter. Icon. What? Wolf's bane, Declan clarified. Voice cold. Poison specifically designed to suppress shifting gene. Lethal in high doses. Isla shook head. No. Impossible. Never taken poison. Just ate pack meals. Memory surfaced. Sharp, clear, damning. The vitamins. Every morning since age 8. Right after father died. Nurse Vera gave her supplements with breakfast. Big pink pills tasting bitter. To help your weak constitution. Taken them religiously 10 years. Never questioned. They were drugging me, Isla whispered. Horror dawning. All those years, every day, they were poisoning me. Not just drugging, Frost said gravely. Suppressing. Dosage massive. Lethal dose is 200 milligrams. You had double that. Miracle it didn't kill your human side. Instead locked your wolf deep inside. Prevented shift by drugging her into coma. But she's there, Miss Crane. Dormant, sleeping, but alive, and very angry. But why? Why waste expensive poison on nobody like me? Declan squeezed her hand. You've said worthless twice now. Need you to stop because nothing could be further from truth. Pulled folded parchment from pocket. Yellowed, aged, carefully preserved. Your father's name wasn't Thomas Crane, Declan revealed quietly. Unfolded to show old family tree. He changed it 20 years ago. Took his mate's surname to hide identity. His real name was Thomas Valerius. Isla gasped. Every werewolf knew that name. History books, legends. Valerius, she repeated. Royal Beta bloodline from Scotland. The ones that went extinct. They didn't go extinct, Declan said softly. Held up parchment. Bottom showed Thomas Valerius born 1975, died 2014. They went into hiding. Your father was last of that line. Last white wolf. White wolf. Words hung like bomb. White wolves were legend. Ruled Scotland for centuries. Stronger than alphas. Faster. More powerful. Distinguished by white fur and violet eyes that commanded even alphas to submit. Thought extinct 20 years. If your father was White Wolf, Frost explained, then you carry that legacy. It's dominant, doesn't skip generations. If you'd shifted naturally at 18, your wolf would be white. Eyes violet. You'd be stronger than Corbin Hale. And coalition law gives royal bloodlines right to challenge for pack leadership. Understanding crashed into Isla. The abuse, neglect, constant insults about being weak. It wasn't because she was less, because they were terrified of what she'd become. Corbin had known. His father must have told him why Thomas was protected, why pack couldn't touch him. When Thomas died in that accident, looking more like murder, Corbin found himself with problem. 8-year-old girl carrying royal blood. Who'd grow up, shift become stronger than him. Who could challenge and win? So he poisoned her. 10 years. Thousands on Wolf's Bane. Keep her suppressed. Weak. Manageable. When poison stopped working when she approached 18, he tried to kill her. Quickly, quietly. Make it look like accident. They didn't break you because you were weak, Isla, Declan said. Lifted her hand to lips, kissed knuckles. Gentle. Reverent. They broke you because you were powerful. So powerful that even drugged, starved, beaten for 10 years you survived. You're strongest person I've ever met. About to become most powerful queen this coalition's ever seen. Fire kindled in Isla's chest. For first time in 18 years, shame she'd carried began to crack, fall away. She wasn't broken. She was buried. There was difference. Can I still shift? She asked Frost. Voice stronger now, steadier. Frost nodded. Will take time to detox. Process will be painful. Your body will fight to expel decade of toxins. Could take 2 weeks. You'll experience fever, hallucinations, convulsions. Won't be pleasant. But yes, your wolf's alive. Genetic markers strong, dominant, unmistakable. She's been locked in cage 10 years. She's not happy. When we break those chemical barriers, when you finally shift first time, I suspect she'll be absolutely furious and magnificent. Isla looked back at Declan. This man who saved her. This Alpha King, somehow her mate. Corbin thinks I'm dead. He does. Cruel, predatory smile. And in few weeks we're inviting Silver Creek to Winter Solstice Ball here. Mandatory attendance for all coalition packs. He can't refuse without insulting Crown. Leaned closer. Forehead against hers. Mate bond humming. Warm. Electric. Right. We will detox you, my queen. Declan whispered. Voice soft but iron promise. Wake your wolf. Train you. Make you strong. Then you and I walk into that ballroom hand in hand and you show Corbin Hale exactly what kind of monster he created. Ella closed eyes, felt sparks, warmth spreading through body chasing years of cold and fear. Felt her wolf stirring deep inside responding to mate's wolf. To Titan, to promise of freedom and vengeance and justice. For first time in her life, Isla felt something she'd almost forgotten. Hope. Okay, she whispered, voice steady, strong. Someone who decided to fight instead of surrender. Let's do it. Let's show them what White Wolf can do. Outside Montana, snow continued falling. Gentle now, peaceful. But inside Obsidian Lodge, something ancient beginning to wake. Bloodline thought extinct. Power thought lost. Queen thought dead, and when she finally rose, claimed her birthright, the North would never be the same. The detox wasn't medical procedure. It was exorcism. November 19th, first dose of chelation medication hit Isla's system at 7 a.m. By 7:15, she was on fire. It burns, she gasped. Why does it burn? Medication's binding to Wolfsbane molecules. Frost explained, checking vitals. Drawing them out, your body's fighting back, lived with poison 10 years, thinks medicine's the threat. By 8 o'clock, fever started, 101, 102, climbing. Declan sat in chair beside her bed, been there all night, would be there every moment. I can't do this. Isla whimpered, sweat soaking hospital gown. Hurts too much. You can, Declan said firmly. Took her hand. Survived 18 years hell. Can survive few more days. By noon hallucinations started. Isla thrashed eyes wide but not seeing room. Somewhere else. Somewhere dark. No please, she begged. I'll be good. Work harder. Don't lock me in cellar. Please, Alpha Corbin. Declan's hands clenched armrests. Titan howling inside. Demanding he shift, hunt down the man who done this, tear him apart. Easy, Frost said, administering mild sedative. She's reliving trauma. Poison suppressed more than wolf, suppressed memories. Now they're coming back at once. Fever climbed. 103, 104. That's dangerous, Brick said from doorway. She could have seizure. I know, Frost's jaw tight. But if we stop treatment, Wolfsbane will resettle. We'll have to start over. Her body might not survive second attempt. Then we don't stop, Declan growled. November 20th, day 2. Fever peaked 104.7. Isla barely conscious. When awake, screamed. When asleep, nightmares made her sob. Declan held her through all of it. Let her claw his arms. Let her soak his shirt with sweat and tears. I want to die, she whispered at 3 a.m. Please, just let me die. Never. Voice hoarse from talking for hours. I will never let you die. Hear me never. Brick brought reports from Silver Creek. Corbin celebrating. Threw party at Pack House. Bragging about cleaning dead weight. Seraphine wearing Isla's mother's necklace at gathering. Declan said nothing. Filed information away. Added to list of crimes Corbin would answer for. November 25th. Day 7. Hallucinations worse. Isla saw Corbin in corner laughing. Saw Seraphine with hot iron. Declan had to hold her while Frost administered stronger sedatives. December 1st, day 13. Isla stopped eating, refused all food, said it was poisoned, said Vera put wolf's bane in it. Frost had to put in feeding tube. Declan held Isla while she fought, crying, begging them not to hurt her. That night, Declan walked onto balcony. December cold hit like wall. He welcomed it. Looked at moon. I know I haven't been most faithful son. Know I've done things in your name. Maybe you weren't righteous. But please. Voice cracked. Please don't take her from me. Not when I just found her. She's good. Pure. If you need to punish someone, punish me. Let her live. Moon offered no answer. Just cold, distant light. Declan went back. Sat in chair. Took Isla's hand. And waited. The breakthrough. December sucked. Dawn. Isla opened eyes. For first time in 14 days, they were clear. No fever haze. No hallucination. Just lucid consciousness. Fever had broken sometime in night. Skin cool. Breathing steady. Monitor showed normal vitals. She looked around. Saw Declan asleep in chair, hand still holding hers. He looked terrible. Beard grown in. Dark circles. Same clothes from 2 days ago. He'd stayed. Through everything. Declan, she whispered. Eyes snapped open. Alert. Gold eyes focusing on her face. Isla. Sat forward. How do you feel? She took inventory. Pain gone. Not just reduced. Gone. And in its place, something else. Electric. Humming beneath skin. I feel. Looked at hands. Not brittle anymore. Skin had color. Fingers strong. I feel dangerous. Declan smiled. True, genuine smile. Good, because training starts in 1 hour. Frost entered, looking surprised to see Isla awake and coherent. Ran tests. Drew blood. Checked vitals 3 times, because couldn't believe readings. Wolf's bane's gone, he announced. Completely purged. Your wolf's no longer suppressed. She's dormant, yes. Sleeping. But alive. And I suspect very angry. Isla felt it. Presence in back of mind. Not her thoughts. Something other. Wild and furious. Hello, she thought. Presence stirred. Pushed back. Not words. Feelings. Recognition. Relief. Rage. They hurt us. We'll pay. Yes, Isla agreed. They will. Obsidian Lodge gym was professional facility. Padded floors, heavy bags, weight equipment, full sparring ring. Isla stood at ring edge, wearing borrowed workout clothes that actually fit. Body still weak from 2 weeks in bed, but humming energy seemed to compensate. Broderick Walsh, brick, stood center ring. 6'2", 230 solid muscle. Face that looked like 1,000 fights. Okay, Your Highness, Brick said, gruff but not unkind. Let's see what you got. Come at me. Isla hesitated. 18 years conditioning said don't fight back. Submit. Apologize. Make herself small. She took tentative swing. Barely more than push. Brick didn't move. Looked at her with disappointment. That's it. That's all. I'm sorry, Isla said automatically. Didn't mean. Stop. Brick's command cut air. Stop apologizing. Know what you sound like, victim. Pray. Walked closer. Loomed over her. No malice. Just hard truth. You aren't servant anymore. Aren't Omega. You're queen. Future queen of the North. Queens don't apologize for taking up space. Don't beg permission to exist. They command. So stop acting like waiting for someone to hit you. Start acting like you're one doing hitting. Something in Isla shifted. Small crack in armor of fear. She thought about Seraphine's laugh, Corbin's cold eyes. Father murdered. 10 years sleeping in barn eating scraps wearing collar. Growl built in throat. Low. Primal. Not quite human. She lunged. This time didn't pull punch. Moved faster than ever. Not human speed. Something more. Brick's eyes widened. Barely got guard up. Her fist connected with forearm with crack echoing through Jim. Then she swept his legs. Knocked him off balance. He went down on one knee. Entire gym silent. Brick stared up genuinely shocked. Isla stood over him, breathing hard, teeth bared. For a moment eyes flashed. Not quite violet, but not quite brown either. Then reality crashed back. Oh God, I'm sorry. Brick didn't mean. Don't you dare apologize. Brick got up greeny. That right there. That's what I'm talking about. Looked at Declan watching from platform. She's fast Alpha, really fast, faster than me. Been training 20 years. Declan nodded, pride and something fiercer in eyes. She's not just fast, she's White Wolf. Speed's her advantage. Teach her to use it. 8 days, December 3rd. Day 1. Brick taught basics. Defensive stance. How to block. How to take hit without letting it break her. She still flinched, still ducked head when he raised voice. 20 years abuse couldn't be undone in day. But by session end, she'd landed 3 solid hits. Only apologized twice. Progress. December 4 to 5. Days 2 and 3. Hand-to-hand combat. Brick taught pressure points. Where to hit but for maximum damage. How to use opponent's size against them. You're 110 soaking wet. Brick said circling. Corbin's 220. Straight fight he crushes you. So don't fight straight, fight dirty, fight smart. Came at her fast. Isla dodged, not away, toward. Slipped inside guard, drove elbow into solar plexus. Not hard enough to really hurt, but hard enough to make him grunt. Yes, Brick wheezed. Like that, close distance, use speed, get in, do damage, get out. Declan watched from above. He'd cleared schedule, delegated everything. Coalition could wait. His mate needed him. Saw change in Isla day by day. She stood straighter, flinched less, started meeting people's eyes instead of staring at floor. She was beautiful, not just physically. Beautiful like flower pushing through concrete. Proof life could survive anything. December 6 to 7. Days 4 and 5. Tactical training. Brick taught her to think like predator, not prey. Combats chess, Declan said, joining session. Can't just react, have to anticipate. Control field, make opponent fight your fight, not theirs. Sparred with her, moved at half speed, letting her learn his patterns, see how he positioned himself. Used footwork to control distance. Isla landed first hit on Declan that afternoon. Quick jab, catching him on jaw. Not hard, but fast. So fast he almost didn't see it coming. He hit Matt, looked up in genuine surprise. Isla stood frozen, eyes wide with horror. I'm so sorry, didn't mean. Don't, Declan said. Got to feet grinning. Rubbing jaw. Don't apologize for being good. That was perfect. Pulled her into hug, felt her stiffen, then slowly relax. She wasn't used to affection without conditions, wasn't used to being touched without it hurting. You're doing so well, he murmured into her hair. I'm so proud of you. Isla felt something break open in chest, something warm and terrifying. Pulled back, looked up at him. Why? She asked. Why are you doing all this? Barely know me. Declan cupped her face gently. I know everything I need to know. You're my mate, my queen. Even if you weren't, even if fate hadn't brought us together, I'd still do this. Because what they did to you was wrong, and I don't let wrong go unpunished. December 8th to 10, days 6, 7, 8. Pack politics and Alpha Command training. Brick explained coalition structure. 40 packs. Council has 12 seats. Disputes settled by council vote or ancient right of blood trial by combat. Has anyone challenged Declan? Isla asked. 3 times. Once when he took throne, twice during rebellion. Brick's expression darkened. All 3 dead, Declan doesn't lose. Should have scared her. Instead made her feel safe. Alpha command training different, not physical. About presence, authority, ability to make others submit through force of will. Every alpha has it, Declan explained in his office. Tone of voice, way of carrying yourself, makes other wolves want to obey. I'm not alpha. No, you're queen, which means your command should be even stronger. Gestured to Brick. Try it on him. Command him to kneel. Isla looked at Brick. Brick, would you mind kneeling? Brick didn't move, raised eyebrow. That's asking, Declan said. Not commanding. Try again. Don't request. Demand. Isla took breath. Thought about all times Corbin had used that tone, how it made her feel powerless. She didn't want to make people feel that way, but understood now. Sometimes to protect people, you had to command them, lead them. She looked at Brick, let something wild rise in chest, presence sleeping inside, her wolf growing stronger. Kneel, Isla said. Voice came out different, deeper, resonant. Filled room like physical force. Brick's eyes went wide. Knees buckled. He dropped to floor before he could stop himself. Holy hell, he breathed. How did I hurt you? Ela rushed forward horrified. I'm sorry. Stop apologizing. Brick laughed, getting up. That was incredible. I've been around alphas my whole life. That command and stronger than most of them, and you haven't even shifted yet. Declan stood behind desk, satisfied smile on face. Told you, White Wolf bloodline, she's going to be unstoppable. The assassination attempt, December 12th, 3:47 p.m. Isla alone in training gym, practicing forms, Brick taught, footwork, combinations, building muscle memory. Lodge quiet. Declan on conference call. Brick running border patrol. Most pack occupied. Which was exactly what Corbin's assassins waited for. They came through supply entrance. 3 of them. Rogues hired 5,000 each. Orders simple kill girl. Before solstice ball. Corbin heard rumors. Whispers Isla Crane might be alive. Wasn't taking chances. Assassins shifted moment they entered gym. 3 wolves, all males, experienced fighters, grey fur, yellow eyes, teeth bared. Isla spun at sound of claws on wood. Heart jumped to throat. No wolf. Still couldn't shift, couldn't defend herself their way. I don't have wolf, she said backing toward wall. Can't fight you, please. Lead assassin snarled, shifted partially back to human, just enough to speak. Then die easy rat. They attacked simultaneously. Coordinated strike to overwhelm instantly. Something in Isla snapped, not broke, snapped into place. Humming energy beneath skin exploded outward. Vision sharpened, time slowed. She saw every muscle twitch, every weight shift, knew where they'd be before they got there. First wolf lunged for throat. Isla dropped, slid across smooth floor, hand shot out. Claws, when had she grown claws, raked across wolf's belly. Not deep enough to kill, enough to hurt. Wolf yelped, crashing into wall. Second wolf from right. Isla sprang up. Elbow connected with jaw with crack echoing. Bone on bone. Wolf's eyes rolled. Dropped unconscious. Third wolf hesitated. Older, smarter. Seen what she just did. Isla turned to face it and roared. Sound from her throat wasn't human. Primal, ancient. Challenge resonating in bones of every predator within mile. Wolf's ears flattened. Tail dropped. Against every instinct it bared neck in submission. Isla stood breathing hard. Hands tipped with 2-inch claws. Teeth longer, sharper. Eyes, she could feel them glowing. Violet glow. Mark of bloodline. Partial shift. Done partial shift without trying. Declan and Brick burst through doors 30 seconds later. Heard roar. Came running. Weapons drawn. Ready for war. Stopped dead. Isla stood center ring. 3 wolves around her. 1 bleeding. 1 unconscious. 1 cowering. What the hell happened? Brick breathed. Isla looked at hands. Watched claws slowly retract. I don't know. They attacked and I just reacted. Declan walked forward slowly, not threatening, but coiled. Isla, are you hurt? No. Looked up at him. I'm fine. I'm okay. Third wolf whimpered. Declan's gaze snapped to it, gold eyes blazing. Shift, he commanded. Wolf had no choice. Alpha command from King himself. Shifted back to human. Man in 30s, scarred, terrified. Who sent you? Declan's voice soft, deadly. Alpha Corbin hail. Man broke immediately. Sent us. Paid 10,000 each. Said kill girl before ball. Said she was supposed to be dead. Brick hauled man up. He knows she's alive. Has spies, man gasped. In 6 packs. Someone saw her. Reported back. Corbin scared. Real scared. Declan looked at Brick. Didn't need words. Years together meant they communicated with looks. This changed things. If Corbin knew Isla was alive, he might not come to ball willingly. Might bring army or run. New plan, Declan said. Don't wait for ball. Accelerate. Force his hand. Ball's mandatory, Brick said. All alphas must attend. If he refuses, forfeits any future council considerations. Won't risk that. Make sure he attends, Declan said. Send official summons, signed by me, with witnesses. Can't refuse without openly defying King. Looked back at Isla. Can you be ready, balls? 14 days. Haven't done full shift yet. Isla looked at hands, still shaking from adrenaline. Just fought 3 trained killers. Without wolf. Without real training. 1. I'm ready, she said. Voice steady, strong. Let's end this. The first shift, December 21st. Winter solstice. Longest night. When barrier between human and wolf was thinnest. Full moon hung high over Obsidian Lodge. Declan drove Isla into deep forest miles from pack house. To clearing ringed by ancient redwoods. Trees 1,000 years old. Witnessed countless first shifts. Clearing empty except for them. No witnesses. This was private. Sacred. It's going to hurt, Declan warned. Already stripped shirt. Ready to shift with her. Guide her. Bones breaking always does. But I'll be right here. Focus on my voice. Let pain happen. Don't fight it. Isla nodded. Terrified, but also eager. Waited 18 years for this. 10 years stolen by poison. Now finally she'd meet other half of herself. Moonlight touched her skin. Something inside woke up fully. Presence in mind surged forward. Not gentle, violent. 18 years suppression, being locked away. Rage and pain all rushing out at once. Isla screamed. Sound turned into howl midway through. Spine arched backward. Vertebrae popped like firecrackers, one after another, restructuring, making room for form that was larger, longer, built differently. Ribs expanded, lungs growing 3 times human size, needed to breathe more, run faster, fight harder. Jaw extended forward, teeth erupting through gums, not human teeth, fangs, 2 inches long. Designed to tear flesh and crush bone, hands and feet elongated, fingers stretching, claws erupting through nail beds, black, curved, sharp enough to rend metal. Worst part, wet was fur, bursting through every pore at once, millions of hair follicles activating simultaneously, felt like skin tearing open. Isla screamed again, couldn't help it. Pain beyond anything imagined. Let it happen, Declan roared. He'd shifted to massive black wolf standing 8 feet tall, Titan. Don't fight it. Isla, accept her pain reached crescendo. Blinding white flash, and then silence. Isla stood on 4 legs. World looked different, smelled different, saw in perfect clarity despite darkness, heard rabbit breathing 50 yards away, smelled Declan's scent cedar and pine and something wild, so clearly it was like tasting it. Looked down at herself. White fur, pure blinding white, like fresh snow under sunlight, shimmered silver when she moved, turned head, saw reflection in puddle, violet eyes, glowing like neon in darkness, huge, almost as tall as Titan at shoulder, 6'2", unheard of for female, built different from his, where he was stocky she was lean, built for speed, muscle coiled tight under white fur. Beautiful Declan's voice echoed in mind. Mate bond allowed wolf-to-wolf communication. Your most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Titan approached slowly, lowered massive head, bared throat in submission, not weakness. Acknowledgement, recognition of superior bloodline. Even alpha kings bowed to white wolves. Isla's wolf nudged his neck with muzzle. Acceptance, partnership, equality. Then she ran, didn't think, just moved. Legs ate ground in massive strides. Trees blurred, wind rushed through fur. Fast, faster than imagined, 40 miles per hour, 50. Wasn't even trying. Titan ran beside her. They raced through forest, black and white, shadow and light, 2 halves of whole. For first time in 18 years, Isla wasn't running away from something. She was running toward her future, toward justice, toward life she should have always had. Ran until dawn broke over mountains, until muscles burned and lungs ached, and she felt more alive than ever. Shifted back as sun rose. Wrapped in blankets, Declan left in supply box. Isla naked, covered in sweat, completely exhausted, and smiling. I felt her, she said, voice hoarse. My wolf, she's been there all along, just locked away. She's so angry, so ready to fight. Then let's give her what she wants. Declan pulled Isla close, kissed forehead. 5 days until ball. Time to plan our revenge. Preparation, December 2025. Final days before ball. War room at Obsidian Lodge looked like military compound. Maps on walls. Satellite images of Silver Creek. Files on Corbin Seraphine. Every ranking member. Evidence. Testimonies. Video recordings. Brick spread intel across table. Corbin bringing 12 guards, plus Seraphine, plus Beta Marcus Cole, 15 total all-trained fighters. He's scared, Declan said. Good. Fear makes people stupid. What's the play? Isla asked. Stood at table studying photographs. No longer frightened girl. Now stood straight, met eyes, spoke with confidence. Public trial, Declan said. We let him arrive, let him get comfortable, then present evidence. Nurse Vera's testimony, medical records showing wolfsbane poisoning, tire tracks from truck, testimony from 3 assassins. He'll deny it, Brick said. Of course, that's when we bring you out. Declan looked at Isla, the mate he tried to kill, alive, powerful, standing beside Alpha King as his queen. He'll invoke right of blood, Isla said quietly. Been studying coalition law for weeks. If cornered, if he sees no way out, he'll challenge. He will, Declan agreed. And I'll accept. No, Isla's voice firm. I fight him. Both men looked at her. Isla, he's trained 10 years, Brick protested. You've trained 3 weeks. I don't care. Isla's eyes flashed violet for a moment. He didn't just hurt me. He murdered my father, stole my childhood, poisoned me, left me to freeze. I need to face him. I need to be one who brings him down. Declan studied her face, saw determination, rage barely contained. "If he challenges you," Declan said slowly, "and you lose, I won't lose." Isla's smile cold, predatory. "He trained to be strong. I trained to survive. There's a difference." December 23rd, 24. Transformation. If Isla was entering ball as queen needed to look like one. Team of stylists arrived from Seattle. Designer gowns, jewelry, makeup. Dress they chose was liquid silver, flowed like mercury clinging to curves cascading to floor in waterfall. Shimmered when she moved, looked like moonlight captured in cloth. Hair once dull brown and brittle, now lustrous chocolate waves past shoulders. Styled in elegant updo. Sophisticated, regal, minimal makeup, didn't need much. Poisoning purged, skin glowed with health, just enhanced eyes, made them larger, more striking. When Isla looked in mirror, didn't recognize herself. This wasn't servant who'd slept in barn. This wasn't girl who'd frozen in snow. This was queen. Declan entered and stopped dead. Eyes went wide. Couldn't speak. "You're breathtaking," he finally managed. "But you always were. Now world will see what I've seen from beginning." Isla turned from mirror, walked to him, placed hand over his heart. "Thank you," she said softly, "for saving me, for believing in me, for giving me chance to become who I was always meant to be." Declan took her hand, raised to lips. "You saved yourself, Isla. I just gave you tools. Strength was always yours." December 25th, Christmas, eve of ball. Isla stood on balcony, watching snow fall over forest. Beautiful, peaceful, not death-bringing blizzard of November. Just gentle flakes drifting in moonlight. Declan joined her, wrapped arms around waist, stood in comfortable silence. "Tomorrow," Isla said, "tomorrow, everything changes." "Tomorrow you take back everything they stole," Declan murmured. "Are you ready?" Isla's eyes flashed violet. Inside Wolf stirred, eager, hungry for justice. "Tomorrow, Corbin Hale learns what happens when you try to bury seed," Isla said. "He doesn't understand pressure doesn't destroy, it creates diamonds." Turned in Declan's arms, looked up. "I'm not afraid anymore," she said. "For first time in my life, I'm not afraid. I'm angry, and I'm powerful, and I'm done being victim." Declan kissed her, gentle first, then deeper. Mate bond sang between them. Electric, unbreakable. Tomorrow, North would witness return of White Wolf, and nothing would ever be same. The Winter Solstice Ball, December 26th, 7:00 p.m. Grand ballroom of Obsidian Lodge transformed into fairy tale, or beautiful nightmare depending on who you were. Crystal chandeliers hung from vaulted ceiling, each containing 1,000 individual lights, throwing rainbow patterns across polished marble. Ice sculptures lined the walls, wolves mid-leap frozen in crystal clarity. 1,000 white roses filled massive vases. Champagne flowed from fountains. Everything sparkled. Everything gleamed. This was power. This was wealth. This was AlphaKing showing Coalition exactly what he commanded. 220 guests filled ballroom. 40 alphas, each with Luna, and key pack members. Most powerful wolves in Northern Coalition under one roof. Some allies, some rivals, all watching each other carefully. Politics never stopped, even at party. Corbin Hale arrived 7:15 with entourage that drew eyes. Custom tuxedo, probably $8,000. Dark hair slicked back. Diamond cufflinks caught light. Walked with swagger of man who believed he owned world. Seraphine clung to his arm. Emerald gown, cut so low barely qualified as clothing. Diamonds dripped from ears, wrists, throat. Around neck, clearly visible, was sapphire necklace. Isla's mother's necklace. Stolen from snow. She wore it like trophy. Behind them came 12 guards, all large. All armed, though weapons at diplomatic function technically forbidden. Corbin wasn't taking chances, and Beta Marcus Cole, wiry man with sharp eyes. They entered and were immediately surrounded by other alphas wanting to network. Corbin ate it up, boasted about Silver Creek's record profits, how he'd streamlined operations, how PAC was leaner and more efficient. They didn't mention profits came from cutting wages to nothing. Efficiency came from working omegas to death. Leaner mean half PAC starving. Quite a party. Alpha Morrison from Eastern PAC said sipping champagne. 65 silver hair, shrewd eyes. Thorne knows how to make statement. Too much flash, Corbin said dismissively. All wealth, no substance. Coalition needs practical leadership, not pageantry. Seraphine laughed, sound like breaking glass. Though I wouldn't mind raiding his wine cellar, this champagne's divine. They mingled. Corbin worked, room like politician, making promises he wouldn't keep, forging alliances that wouldn't last. His eyes kept darting to doors, watching, waiting. He'd heard rumors, whispers Isla Crane might be alive. Spies reported seeing girl matching description at lodge, but impossible. She'd been left in -10 degrees without coat. No human could survive. No non-shifting wolf could survive. Assassins he'd sent had vanished, never reported back. That worried him. But maybe they'd just taken money and run. Rogues were unreliable. Still, unease wouldn't leave. At 7:45, orchestra finished current piece. Chatter died down, expecting next song. Instead, silence. Massive double doors at top of grand staircase groaned open. 10 feet tall, carved from ancient oak, reinforced with iron. Tonight swung open on their own. Smooth. Inevitable. Every head turned. Broderick Walsh stepped onto landing. Beta of AlphaKing. 6'2" solid muscle dress uniform. Voice carried across ballroom without microphone. Lords and ladies of Coalition. Brick announced. Voice formal, ceremonial. Presenting your host, AlphaKing Declan Thorne, ruler of Northern Coalition, guardian of 40 packs, protector of territory. Declan stepped into view, looked like god of war, dressed for diplomacy. Black tuxedo tailored perfectly. White shirt, black bow tie, dark hair styled back from face. But eyes caught attention, glowed faint gold even in human form. Mark of Alpha, so powerful, his wolf always just beneath surface, stood at top of stairs surveying crowd, letting them see him, letting them remember exactly who ruled North. Assembled alphas dipped heads in respect. Even strongest acknowledged Declan's dominance. Earned through strength, wisdom, 10 years keeping peace. But Declan didn't descend. Turned slightly, offering arm to shadows beside him. Brick's voice rang out again. Pride in it. Anticipation. Tone of man about to watch history. And is made future queen of the North, lady of Obsidian Lodge, last daughter of Valerius' bloodline. Paused, letting tension build. Isla Valerius. Name hit crowd like shockwave. Valerius. Extinct bloodline. White wolves of legend. Royal line vanished 20 years. Impossible. Isla stepped into light. Ballroom gasped. Actually gasped. 200 wolves inhaling as one. She was unrecognizable from girl who'd frozen in snow 6 weeks ago. Liquid silver gown. Caught light from chandeliers, threw it back in waves of shimmer. Dark hair fell in elegant waves over one bare shoulder. Skin glowed with health and power. But eyes made wolves step back instinctively. Violet. Glowing faint neon violet. Unmistakable mark of white wolf. Bloodline so powerful, even alphas had to submit. She didn't walk downstairs. She glided. Each step measured, graceful, absolutely confident. 3 weeks learning to move like queen. Now executed perfectly. Crowd parted before her like water before ship. Instinct told them to move, give space, acknowledge predator in their midst. Declan walked beside her. Not ahead, not behind, beside, partners, equals. Hand rested lightly on hers, where it lay on his arm. Touch sent visible sparks up his sleeve. Mate bond, manifesting physically for all to see. They descended 42 steps. Orchestra silent. No one spoke. Only sound was whisper of Isla's gown on marble and collective breathing of 200 shocked wolves. At bottom, crowd had naturally formed path, 30 feet wide, leading directly to one specific point, to Corbin Hale. He stood frozen. Champagne flute slipped from nerveless fingers. Crystal shattered on marble sound like gunshot in silence. Champagne spread across white marble in pool that looked like blood. Seraphine clutched his arm. Perfectly manicured nails tore through tuxedo fabric drawing blood. She was making sound, not quite words, whimper of pure terror. No, she breathed. Impossible. She's dead. We left her to die. She's dead. Isla and Declan walked down that path. Every eye followed. Alphas, who'd seen centuries of politics, had never seen anything like this. Stopped 3 feet from Corbin, close enough to speak quietly and be heard, close enough that Corbin could smell Isla's scent, vanilla and ozone, and something wild, something powerful. Silence absolute, suffocating. Could hear hearts beating. Hear crackle of logs in fireplace across room. Declan spoke first, voice smooth, polite, terrifyingly calm. Alpha Hale, I don't believe you've had pleasure of meeting my fiancé. Corbin's mouth opened, closed, opened again. No sound. Face gone from healthy tan to sickly pale. Sweat beaded on upper lip despite cool temperature. Isla, he finally croaked. How are you? Alive. Isla's smile cold, predatory. Smile of wolf who'd cornered prey and was savoring moment before kill. Disappointed. Her voice melodious now. Rich. Nothing like whisper he remembered. This voice carried alpha command. Did you expect me still frozen under that pine tree? We thought. Seraphine started, voice shrill. You thought what? Ela interrupted, turning violet eyes on Luna. That I ran away. Is that what you're going to claim? Took step closer. Seraphine actually retreated, pulling Corbin. You stripped my coat. Seraphine. In -10 degrees. You laughed while they dragged me out. You took my mother's necklace. Isla's eyes dropped to sapphire at Seraphine's throat. You're wearing it right now. Seraphine's hand flew to necklace. Face crumpled. Tried to hide behind Corbin. Murmurs rippled through crowd. Abandoning pack member bad. Stripping protection in winter worse. Taking possessions was theft. Combined serious crimes under coalition law. That's not what happened, Corbin stammered, trying to regain control. She's lying, mentally unstable. Confused. Isla's laugh dark, chilling, made chandeliers vibrate. Let me see if I can clear up confusion. Raised voice, not shouting, projecting, making sure every wolf could hear. November 14th, 2024. You exiled me to Dead Man's Gulch because I failed to shift on my 18th birthday. You ordered enforcers, Jacks Reeves and Colt Barrow, to strip my coat and leave me with nothing. In -10 degrees. On Forest Road, 30 miles from nearest town. Murmurs grew louder. Alphas exchanging glances. Luna's whispering. That's a lie. Corbin's voice cracked. Slander she's defect. Genetic failure with no wolf. No wolf. Isla tilted head. Or suppressed wolf. Turned to address entire ballroom. When spoke voice carried to every corner. You poisoned me for 10 years. Corbin Hale. Had Nurse Vera Ashwood add Wolfsbane to vitamin supplements you forced me to take daily. 450 milligrams per deciliter. Triple lethal dose. You did this because you discovered my father's true identity. Found your father's journals. Learned that Thomas Valerius, not Crane, was my father. Knew I carried white wolf blood. Knew that if I shifted pack would feel pull of royal bloodline. They would choose me over you. Gasps. Actual gasps of horror. Poisoning to suppress shift was among highest crimes, attempting to destroy someone's very nature, their soul. So you tried to erase me, Isla continued. When poison stopped working, when I approached at 18 and shift would happen anyway, you decided murder was easier. This is insane, Corbin shouted. Looked around ballroom trying to find support. She's delusional. No proof making this up. No proof. Declan's voice cut through noise. Pulled small remote from pocket. Clicked button. Projection screens descended from ceiling. 4 of them positioned so every guest could see. Images appeared. Medical charts showing wolfsbane concentrations. Photographs of Isla's scars, burns, whip marks, collar abrasions. Tire track analysis. GPS data from Ford F-150 registered to Silver Creek, showing exact route to Dead Man's Gulch November 14th. Then video. Nurse Vera Ashwood sitting in interview room crying. Her voice played through speakers. Alpha Hale threatened my son with Excel if I didn't poison Isla. He gave me wolfsbane. Told me to mix it with her vitamins. Every morning, 10 years. Didn't know it would last so long. Thought she'd just die quickly. I'm so sorry. God forgive me. Ballroom erupted. Alpha shouting. Luna's crying out in horror. Guards stepping forward, stopping, unsure what to do. Brick's voice cut through chaos. We also have testimony from 3 rogue assassins hired by Alpha Hale December 12 to murder Isla before this ball. They failed. Gestured. 3 men escorted in by guards. Same rogues who'd attacked Isla. Looked terrified. Beaten, but alive. Tell them, Brick commanded. Lead rogue spoke, voice shaking. Alpha Corbin Hale paid us 10,000 each. Ordered us to kill girl. Said she was supposed to be dead already. Said fix mistake before solstice ball. Crowd was storm now. Loud. Angry. Demanding justice. Declan raised hand. Silence fell instantly. When AlphaKing wanted quiet, he got it. Alpha Corbin Hale. Declan's voice formal now. Official. This was no longer party. This was trial. You stand accused before Coalition Council of High Treason, attempted murder of royal bloodline, heritage, suppression, assault, conspiracy to commit murder. How do you plead? Corbin looked around. Every face turned toward him. Every eye judged. His guards had stepped back. Even Marcus had moved away. He was alone, trapped, face twisted, from fear to desperation to rage. He straightened spine, pulled together tattered remains of dignity. I am anointed Alpha, he said, voice steadying. I rule by grace of moon. Coalition law states clearly that only council can judge Alpha, and only for crimes threatening coalition itself. He was right. Technically, law protecting alphas from prosecution, except under specific circumstances, prevented petty feuds from destroying leadership. But there was another law, an older one. Corbin's eyes gleamed with desperate cunning. He was cornered, but still had one card. However, he said louder now, I acknowledge these charges serious. I acknowledge this matter must be settled. Therefore, I invoke my ancient right under coalition law. Turned looking directly at Isla. At this girl who'd somehow survived, somehow become powerful, who was about to destroy everything he'd built. I invoke right of blood. Voice echoed off vaulted ceiling. Trial by combat, and I name my opponent. Pointed at Isla with shaking hand. I challenge her. Not King, not Beta. Her. The accuser. Let Moon Goddess judge which of us speaks truth. Ballroom exploded. This was dramatic even by werewolf standards. Right of blood ancient, sacred, couldn't be refused once invoked. And brilliant strategy Isla only shifted once 6 days ago. Corbin been fighting 10 years. It was trap, everyone knew it. You can't be serious, Brick growled, looked ready to shift and rip Corbin's throat out. She's been wolf, less than weak. Law is clear, Corbin said, gaining confidence. She accuses me. I challenge her. Unless she's too weak to accept. Unless she's still pathetic, Omega, we know her to be. Taunt deliberate, designed to force Isla's hand. Isla looked at Declan. He was staring at her conflict written across face. He wanted to refuse, wanted to fight Corbin himself, wanted to protect his mate, but this wasn't his choice. Isla, you don't have to do this, Declan said quietly. Only she could hear. I can refuse on your behalf. I can fight him. No. Isla's voice steady. She turned back to Corbin. Eyes flashed brilliant violet. Wolf inside howling for release. Demanding justice. Demanding blood. I accept your challenge, Corbin hailed. Her voice rang clear, strong. And when I defeat you, when you're on knees before me, you'll understand exactly what you created when you tried to destroy me. Trial by combat. Ballroom furniture. Moved with supernatural speed. Wolves working together cleared tables, chairs, decorations. In minutes, center of marble floor was empty. Guards poured salt in circle, 20 feet diameter. Ancient tradition. Salt represented purity, sacred ground. What happened in circle was judgment from Moon Goddess herself. Guests formed ring around salt circle, packed tight. No one wanted to miss this. Some looked excited, some horrified, all fascinated. 2 combatants would enter. Only one would leave. Corbin stripped off tuxedo jacket, his shirt. He was muscular, lean, built like fighter, scars crisscrossed torso. Proof of battles won. He rolled shoulders, cracking neck. Then he shifted. Transformation fast. Practiced. Done it 1,000 times. His body rippled, reformed, and large grey timber wolf stood in circle. 6 feet at shoulder, maybe 240 in wolf form. Yellow eyes gleaming with predatory hunger. Scars marked wolf form too, across flanks. On muzzle. This was wolf who'd fought, killed, knew how to survive. He paced circle, snarling, snapping jaws, working crowd, trying to intimidate. Isla stepped to circle's edge, wore silver gown still, impractical for fighting. Didn't care. Are you sure? Declan asked one more time. Hand on her arm, gentle. Once you enter, I can't help you. Combat law forbids interference. I know. Isla looked up at him, smiled. Not cold predator smile. Genuine smile, full of love and confidence. Trust me. She stepped into circle. World seemed to hold breath. Isla closed eyes, reached inside herself, found that presence, furious, powerful presence, locked away so long. Hello, sister, she thought. Ready to hunt. Ready, wolf snarled. Make him pay. Shift happened faster than before. Smoother, like slipping into favorite coat. One moment, Isla stood in silver gown. Next, blinding flash of white light erupted. When light faded, white wolf stood in circle. Crowd's reaction visceral. Gasps. Shouts. Some wolves actually stepped back despite salt barrier. She was magnificent, towering. 6'2" at shoulder, taller than Corbin. Pure white fur, so bright, almost hurt to look at. Shimmered silver when she moved, catching light like freshly fallen snow. But eyes made even alphas feel wolves whimper. Violet, glowing electric violet, color of ancient power, of royal blood. Of legends made real, built different from Corbin's stocky form. She was lean, muscular, but built for speed and agility. Every line screamed predator, apex predator. Corbin hesitated. For just a moment, yellow eyes showed fear. Then pride overrode instincts. He snarled, pawed marble. He was bigger, more experienced. He could win, had to win. Circle sealed. Brick announced terms in formal language. Combat to submission or death. No interference. May Moon Goddess guide righteous. Stepped back. Corbin attacked first. Fast for his size. Launched across circle jaws, aimed for Isla's throat. Killing blow. Ended quick before she could use that speed. But Isla didn't dodge. She moved into attack, dropped shoulder, timed it perfectly, hit him mid-air like freight train. Impact sounded like car crash, bone on muscle on bone. Corbin's momentum reversed instantly. He flew backward, crashed through salt circle, slammed into crowd. Wolves scattered. He hit marble hard enough to crack it. Crowd roared. This was what they came to see. This was primal, real. Corbin scrambled up, shaking head, dazed. How had she hit so hard? She was smaller, circled warily now, looking for opening. Isla didn't wait. She moved. That speed Brick identified in training. She was blur of white, impossible to track. Feinted left. Corbin committed. She reversed right, jaws closed on his front leg, not biting down, just holding, then yanked. Corbin's leg swept out from under him, crashed to floor again. Before he could recover, she was on his back, paws pinning shoulders. Weight crushing him down, he thrashed, powerful, desperate, managed to throw her off. They separated, circled, both panting. Corbin tried different approach, went low, tried to get under her guard, use bulk to bowl her over. Isla saw it coming. She trained for this. Brick taught her. Anticipate. Control field. She jumped straight up 6 feet in air. Corbin passed beneath, jaws snapping on empty air. She came down on his spine. Not with full weight. Just enough to drive him flat. Make him eat marble. Crowd screaming now. Alphas shouting encouragement. Luna's crying out. This was supposed to be quick execution. Instead was massacre. And massacre wasn't going expected way. Corbin bleeding from dozen small wounds. Nothing fatal, but humiliating. White Wolf was toying with him, showing difference in power, making him feel what Isla had felt for 18 years, helpless, overpowered, at someone else's mercy. He tried to get up, legs shook, taken too many hits. Exhaustion setting in. Isla circled him, patient. She wasn't tired, barely winded, could do this all night. Corbin made one last desperate play. Gathered all strength, charged with everything he had left. No technique, no strategy. Just rage and desperation and refusal to lose. Isla saw him coming. Time seemed slow. Saw exactly how he'd move, where weight was, where momentum would take him. Sidestepped at last possible second. Matador move. As he passed, she reared up on hind legs, brought front paws down on spine. All her weight, all her strength, powered by rage and justice and 18 years suffering. Crack echoed through ballroom. Corbin hit marble face first. Didn't get up. Couldn't. Isla's paws were pinned on spine, crushing him flat. He wheezed, trying to draw breath. She held him there. 5 seconds. 10. 20. Letting every wolf see, letting them understand. This wasn't luck. This wasn't fluke. This was absolute dominance. Then she shifted partially back. Just head and vocal cords. Kept wolf body pinning Corbin down. Yield, she growled. Voice half human, half wolf. Terrifying. Corbin's wolf form shuddered. He turned head painfully. Bared neck. Universal sign of submission. I yield, he gasped. Crowd erupted in cheers. According to law, combat was over. Moon goddess had judged. Isla victorious. But Isla didn't move. I heard you, she said, voice carrying across sudden silence. You yielded, but I don't accept your surrender. Shocked murmurs rippled. What did that mean? Law was clear. If someone yielded, law says victor decides loser's fate. Isla continued. I could kill you. I could exile you. I could let you live and walk away. Leaned down. Violet eyes inches from Corbin's yellow ones. But death's too easy, and exile gives you chance to rebuild somewhere else. So I'm going to give you exactly what you gave me. Shifted fully back to human, stood naked and unashamed in center of circle, body marked with old scars. Everyone could see them, see evidence of what he'd done. Guards, she called. Strip him, strip Seraphine. Take their coats, take their shoes. Put them in same Ford F-150 that Jax and Colt used. Drive them to same spot on Forest Service Road 340. Leave them there, in cold, in dark, alone. Horror swept through crowd. Poetic justice. Perfect. Terrible. You can't! Seraphine shrieked from where guards grabbed her. It's blizzard -15. We'll freeze, we'll die. Yes, Isla said simply. You will, just like I was supposed to. But wasn't finished. Isla walked to where Corbin lay, still in wolf form, still too beaten to stand. She placed hand on his head, closed eyes. Energy flowed from her. White light, ancient power. Valeria's bloodline had abilities beyond just strength and speed. They could command, lead, and they could sever. Corbin screamed. Sound that made every wolf flinch. Sound of someone's soul being torn. Isla was using severing. Ancient technique that ripped away alpha status. Destroyed pack bond. Left victim human. Powerless. Alone. When she removed hand, Corbin shifted back to human involuntarily. And stayed human. Couldn't shift anymore. His wolf was gone. Locked away. Forever behind walls Isla erected. Now you're not alpha, Isla said. You're not even wolf. You're just man. Weak. Powerless. Exactly what you tried to make me. Stepped back. Nodded to guards. They dragged Corbin and Seraphine from ballroom. Both screaming. Both begging for mercy. Same mercy they'd never shown Isla. Crowd watched in silence. Some looked satisfied, some disturbed, all impressed. Then, one by one, alphas of Northern Coalition turned to Isla and bowed, not to Declan, to her, acknowledging their queen. Epilogue. December 26th, 10:30 p.m. Coalition Council convened emergency session. 12 alphas sitting in judgment. Declan presiding as king. Isla sat beside him, still naked, wrapped in Declan's tuxedo jacket. She would dress later. Right now, wanted everyone to see scars. Wanted them to understand what she'd survived. Charges against Corbin and Seraphine read aloud. Attempted murder, heritage suppression, assault, conspiracy, theft. List went on. Each alpha voted. Verdict unanimous. Guilty on all counts. Sentence. Permanent exile with no provisions. No pack would take them. No shelter offered. They were to be driven to Dead Man's Gulch and abandoned exactly as Isla had been. Vote recorded. Witnessed by 220 guests. Legal. Binding. Irreversible. Isla formally recognized as Isla Valeria's rightful heir to White Wolf bloodline. Future Queen of North, co-ruler with Declan Thorne. Silver Creek Pack placed under royal protection until new alpha chosen. This time by vote, not bloodline. Every pack member would have say. Democracy. For first time in Silver Creek's history. Council adjourned 11:15. Isla and Declan stood on balcony of his private suite, watching snowfall. Below, Corbin and Seraphine being loaded into old Ford F-150. Stripped of coats, stripped of shoes, stripped of dignity. Do you feel guilty? Declan asked quietly. Isla thought about it, searched hard, found no guilt, only justice. No, she said. They made choices. They chose cruelty. They chose to destroy innocent girl. Now they face consequences. Truck drove away, into darkness, into cold. Isla watched until tail lights disappeared. Karma moves in circle, she whispered. 1 week later, January 2nd, New Year, new beginning. Isla walked through Silver Creek Pack House for first time since Exa. Looked different, smaller, less frightening. She was different too. Walked as queen now, head high, shoulders back. Every pack member who saw her immediately bowed. Changes she'd ordered already visible. Omega quarters where she'd slept on hay gutted. Rebuilt into proper housing. Warm, clean, dignified. Kitchen now served 3 meals daily to everyone. Not scraps. Real food. No one went hungry. School established. Packed children learning to read, write, think for themselves. Collars gone. Burned. Destroyed. Young girl approached. Maybe ate. Thin but getting healthier. Curtsied clumsily. Miss Isla. Voice small. Thank you for saving us. Isla knelt down. Looked the girl in eyes. What's your name? Emma. Emma, listen. You were never meant to suffer. None of you were. And you don't need to thank me. This is how life should always have been. Stood. Addressed gathered pack members. You're free now. No more servants. No more Omega class. No more cruelty. You're all equals. Anyone who tries to bring back old ways will answer to me. They cheered. Actually cheered. For first time in decades, hope had returned to Silver Creek. Brick approached. Appointed interim Alpha until elections held. Scouts found them this morning, he reported quietly. Isla's expression didn't change. Where Dead Man's Gulch, under pine tree, frozen together, just like they left me. Isla finished. How long did they survive? Medical examiner estimates died around 3 a.m. December 27, roughly 6 hours after being dropped off. Isla looked out window. Snow falling. Gentle. Peaceful. I survived 47 minutes before Declan found me, she said. They had 6 hours, were stronger, more experienced, and still couldn't make it. Because they never learned to survive, Brick said. Only learned to oppress. Isla nodded. Make sure their body is buried properly. Even monsters deserve that much. She meant it. Rage gone. Thirst for revenge satisfied. Now there was only work of rebuilding. 3 months later, April 15th, spring equinox, snow melting, ice breaking on lakes, life returning to forest, Obsidian Lodge decorated for celebration. This time not trial, not confrontation, a wedding, mating ceremony, ancient Scottish tradition, Valerius bloodline custom dating back 1,000 years. Declan wore clan tartans. Isla wore white, not silver, pure white, like her wolf. All 40 packs attended. Every Alpha, every Luna. 220 guests who'd witnessed judgment now witnessed joy. Brick gave Isla away, walking her down aisle of white roses, eyes suspiciously wet. You did it, he whispered as they walked. You survived. You thrived. You became exactly what you were meant to be. We did it, Isla corrected. You trained me, believed in me. Thank you, Brick. Ceremony beautiful, simple. Declan and Isla exchanged vows under full moon, bound lives together officially. Mate bond already strong became unbreakable. When they kissed, crowd erupted in applause. At reception, Brick announced as new Alpha of Silver Creek, elected by unanimous vote, earned it through fairness, strength, honor. Dr. Frost awarded Coalition Medal for exposing poisoning conspiracy, given position on council as Chief Medical Advisor. Nurse Vera officially pardoned. She worked at orphanage now, caring for children no one else wanted, making amends only way she knew how. As sun set, Isla and Declan stood on terrace, watching forest wake from winter, green returning to world. What are you thinking? Declan asked, arms around waist. About cycles, Isla said. About how everything comes full circle. How pressure creates diamonds. How seeds buried in snow grow into forests. Poetic. It's true though. She turned in his arms, looked up with violet eyes. Corbin tried to bury me, thought cruelty would destroy me, but it just made me stronger, made me into this. Into queen, into myself, Isla corrected. Person I was always meant to be. I'm not afraid anymore. For first time in my life, I'm not afraid. I'm powerful. I'm loved. I'm free. I love you, Declan said. My queen, my mate, my Isla. I love you too, my king, my savior, my home. They kissed as sun disappeared behind the mountains, as spring fully arrived, as new era began for North. Inside, celebration continued. Music, dancing, laughter, sounds of wolves at peace. Outside, two wolves appeared at forest edge, one black, one white. They touched noses, then ran together into the trees. Partners, equals, rulers. White Wolf had returned to North, and nothing would ever be same. Narrator Epilogue. So ends story of Isla Valerius, girl who was thrown away and became queen. Corbin, in Seraphine Hale, tried to bury her in snow, thought cold would kill her, forgot that pressure creates diamonds, that seeds buried in winter grow into forests, that wolves you step on climbing up are same wolves you meet coming down. This story teaches three eternal truths. First, cruelty doesn't make you strong, it makes you vulnerable, because universe keeps receipts. Karma doesn't forget, and neither should you. Second, people you abuse on way to power are same people who'll destroy you when you fall. Corbin built throne on suffering of innocence. When it crumbled, those same innocents watched him freeze just as he'd watched Isla. Third, true power isn't given. It's earned. Not through birthright, not through cruelty, but through surviving what should have killed you. Through rising from ashes, or in Isla's case from snow stronger than before. Isla didn't just survive, she thrived, took pain and transformed into purpose, suffering into strength, victimhood into victory. Today, Northern Coalition stronger than ever. Silver Creek rebuilt on foundations of equality and justice. Omega Wolves across 40 packs know they have queen who understands their struggle, who will protect them, who will fight for them, because she was one of them. Corbin Hale died as he lived, cold, alone, powerless. Snow he used as weapon became his grave. Cold he inflicted became his end. Perfect, poetic, justice. If this story moved you, if it reminded you that cruelty always comes full circle, that justice may be delayed but never denied, then remember this: when someone tries to bury you, they don't realize they're planting you. They don't understand that pressure creates diamonds. That suffering builds strength. That frozen outcast can become unstoppable queen. Isla Valerius proved it. She went from dying in snow to ruling North, from Omega to queen. From victim to victor. And when winter comes again, when snow falls and cold bites wolves across Northern Coalition, we'll look up at moon and remember. Remember White Wolf who rose from death, who brought justice to cruel, who proved that karma never ever forgets. This is her legacy. This is her truth. This is a story of frozen Omega who became White Wolf Queen, and it will be told for 1,000 years.